Being intentional, man, about bringing that peace to the house. Why? Because healthy relationships provide a foundation for emotional safety. That's really what a house becoming a home is about, creating a sense of emotional safety where each person feels comfortable enough that they can communicate and they can express their feelings. And when emotional safety is present, it encourages openness and fosters a sense of comfort and deep understanding. Welcome to the Dr. G.L. White Show, a show where we explore the role of Black fathers in building strong families and strengthening communities. Today, we're going to have a conversation about a topic that I'm going to ask you to just pause for a moment when you hear it and just hold off on any judgment until you kind of let me get it all the way out. And in this show, I start with this simple statement. Men bring peace to the house, then the woman will turn the house into a home. Let me say that again. If the man brings peace to the house, then the woman will turn the house into a home. Now, when you hear that statement, I just want to start on this premise here that it operates that on the notion that for the most part, it's a healthy relationship and good communication. So this piece here, I'm kind of offering up and focusing on you fathers. I'm focusing on you men. So I want you to understand the impact of what happens when you get home, right? So think about this concept of bringing peace to the house, right? It's important because imagine, if you will, you've had a terrible day at work, you're mad, you're upset, and this is what typically happens. You're frustrated and you finally get home and everything has pissed you off. You see my face, right? Everything has pissed you off. You have the angst, you have the anxiety, and then you get home and you arrive and you put the key in the door and you enter the house and everybody's having a good time and people are coming to you, and then all of a sudden you said, I need y'all to leave me alone. Just give me my space. And now you have disrupted the peace and harmony in the home. You have declared that you've asked everyone to just pause for a moment of wherever they are, whatever they're doing, and just pause as you work through whatever's going on with you, right? So believe it or not, you can turn the energy of the house, right? You can cause people to be on pins and needles. And so this is why I say that men bring peace to the house and that a woman will turn the house to the home. Now, there's another prerequisite here, or a fundamental understanding that I don't want to get lost. This is not to say that women can't bring peace to the house, and this is not to say that a man can't turn a house into a home. So let's just establish that it is in fact a reciprocal process. So this is the focus. I want you to pay attention to how you communicate. Again, I just want to reiterate this. You've gotten home and that stress is there. You've disrupted the peace and harmony in the house. And so now here it is that you've transformed the energy, right? So it may have been peace in the house, but you brought that energy in. And so let's explore, if you will, why it's important to understand the role of peace, right? Why it's important to understand through appreciation and everything else how that house can be converted into a home. Let's start with one of my favorite artists on the planet, Luther Vandross. And you got it. What song am I talking about? A house is not a home. When you think about it, he says a chair is still a chair, even when there's no one there, but a chair is just a chair. And then he moves on to say, but a house is not a home if no one's there. It sounds corny, but I want you to really focus on what's being communicated there. So let's look at it and let's pay attention. We like I said, we love Luther, right? But we are paying attention to what the role of healthy relationships, right? Through that notion of investing in being intentional, man, about bringing that peace to the house. Why? Because healthy relationships provide a foundation for emotional safety. That's really what a house becoming a home is about, creating a sense of emotional safety where each person feels comfortable enough that they can communicate and they can express their feelings. And when emotional safety is present, it encourages openness, and fosters a sense of comfort and deep understanding. And so let's take a look at this piece of men converting a house or home, and men taking a house, taking a house, and how women can turn it into peace. It starts with, first of all, that reciprocal relationship. When a man contributes peace to the household, and this mutual support fosters a nurturing atmosphere, right? It's a nurturing atmosphere where both people suddenly feels comfortable about talking and communicating. And in turn, right, this helps the woman transform the house to a home that is infused with that sense of love, that sense of care, that sense of understanding. So the first aspect of converting a house to a home, or a man bringing the peace and it being converted into a home, is understanding the reciprocal nature of that. If you didn't get nothing else, you understand that. Now, also understanding that when a house is converted into a home, it also impacts the children, right? Children learn from the interactions of their parents. They come to learn how to communicate. They learn how to disagree. They learn how to be happy. They learn how to celebrate. Children who are raised in a peaceful environment, a nurturing, loving environment, tend to go on and perform better academically. They tend to be more emotionally sound. And so, fathers and men, I'm telling you that when you focus and you're mindful on the degree or how you bring peace in the home. And of course, the opposite of that is the hostility. You bring the hostility and angry into the house, then how do you expect it to be converted to a home? And so we want to pay attention to the impact of turning this house into a home by focusing your role on the peace. And for children, again, then they develop, even for them, a sense of emotional stability and a sense of emotional understanding, which they ultimately take into their adult relationships with friends and ultimately in forming partnerships. The transforming of a house into a home is also recognizing that the house is a sanctuary, right? And it should be a sanctuary. You heard me at the beginning. I talked about men coming home and being upset. What I'm challenging you, brothers, is this. I'm saying if you had a bad day, if you've had a hard time, if you're frustrated and angry and you pull into your driveway or your parking lot, I'm going to tell you, before you go into the house, just pause, take a breath, breathe. Because when you come into the house, you may have been doctor someone out there. You may be the construction worker or the mail worker. You may be the school teacher. You may be all of that out there in the world. But when you get home, your children want daddy. The wife wants husband. And so it's important that you pause. And I don't care if you have to sit in your driveway, play music, or do whatever so that you can make the transition. But I need you to get it off of you, because when you come into the house with the peace, then you're received by the peace, and then the process of turning that house into a home can occur. So recognizing it's a sanctuary, or that holy of holy place. And so what I'm telling you is that here's a sign that you know that that house may not be a home. And here's a sign that peace may not have made it to that house. It's a sign when you don't want to go home, or will you find better peace outside in the world, right? And there are a lot of people that we've seen in our practice. We've seen it for those who do life coaching or therapy. We see when we listen to them, there are some people that are so great in the outside world. The community loves them. They get awards and accolades for everything they do outside. Right now, everybody is recognizing them for their great work that they do in the community. But I'm going to tell you, there's something wrong if the community loves you, but your wife and children can't stand you. There's something wrong that the community work and the volunteerism almost becomes like what you would hear in the Bible as the adulterous woman. You get everything that you're missing out there, but I'm offering up to you that the real challenge is bringing peace to a house takes work. It really does take work, and it takes feedback and understanding. Baby, how am I doing? Right now, when we get to that point where that house is becoming the point of becoming a home, you also recognize that, because through the communication, now you're getting the feedback. Those who love and care for you, when you get home, they may have seen that you've been bruised. They may have seen that you've been battered. They may have seen that you've been frustrated. But then everyone, after a while, runs to the rescue to support you. This is how you know that now the house is becoming a home. And so I want you, each and every one of you, to take ownership of it. And, the woman will follow your lead, and you'll follow her lead. She's there to listen to you, and you need to be there to listen to her. The work of converting a house to a home starts with the peace and bringing it in. So, brothers, I want to challenge you to do your own self exploration. I want to challenge you to just pause and ask whomever you're living with, whether it's wife or whether it's your common law wife. I want to encourage you to ask her, how am I doing? How am I doing with bringing the peace to the house? And encourage her to ask you, how's she doing with converting the house into a home? When you do that, I believe when we focus on that balance of a house becoming a home or bringing the peace to the house and converting the house to a home, when we focus on that, when we begin to build that, we'll find a new level of peace that exists. And when you reach that level of peace, we'll celebrate. I'll celebrate and recognize what we have done, because you're smiling more out in the world. In peace, people begin to see something different in you. And when you do, I just want you to pause. When they ask you what's changed, tell them, I talked with Dr. White. And when you do that, I'll smile and tell you, on that change, that transformation, I'll toast that.